Did you know that antibiotic resistance is an alarming health issue and it is currently on the Center Disease Control for top list of concerns? Antibiotic resistance is no longer a prediction of the future. It is happening right now. According to World Health Organization, this issue threatens the effective prevention and treatment of a wide range of infections that are caused by bacteria, parasites, viruses, and fungi. Antibiotic resistance continues to spread globally and will eventually rise the cost of healthcare. Many people can get sick, and the first thought that comes to their mind is that they need to get on some type of medication. The use of antibiotics is becoming more and more common for patients to carelessly obtain without any primary consultation from a doctor or medical professional. This is threatening the ability of medication to treat simple, common infections, which without the effective treatment, many medical standards will fail. This can result in death and disability of individuals when before individuals could continue a normal course of life. Antibiotic resistance is a global health complication that we should all be aware of in order to protect the society, economy, ourselves, and our children. In this film, we are going to discuss what antibiotic resistance is, what can cause bacteria to become more resistant to antibiotics, and what you can do to prevent that from happening.
What is antibiotic resistance? It is the ability of bacteria and microbes to resist the effects of an antibiotic. Antibiotics are meant to kill or inhibit the growth of susceptible bacteria, meaning the chemicals and other agents in antibiotics become now less effective against that bacteria. There are many mechanisms in which bacteria can become resistant to antibiotics, including genetic mutation and transfer of DNA. So how does antibiotic resistance happen? Well, imagine this scenario. There are lots of germs, and a few are drug resistant. Antibiotics will kill the bacteria that are causing the illness, as well as the good bacteria, protecting them from the body from infection. The drug-resistant bacteria are now allowed to grow and take over. Some bacteria give their drug resistance to other bacteria, causing much more problems and causing the other bacteria to now be resistant. And the drug-resistant bacteria now multiply. And why is this concerning? Well, there are many reasons why. It is one of the world's most persistent public health problems. Most bacteria have become much more stronger and less responsive to antibiotic treatment. Many infectious diseases have become difficult to treat and cure and more expensive. For example, in WHO's 2014 report on global surveillance on antimicrobial resistance indicates that syphilis, a once treatable infection, is now proven to be resistant to its last resort antibiotic. Therefore, it is now much more expensive to treat because it will require a much stronger antibiotic, and if that does not work, then hospitalization fees can accrue. A common misunderstanding is that people's bodies become resistant to specific drugs. However, that is not the case. It is the microbes that become resistant to the drugs. Another thing is it can threaten the community health. These hard-to-treat illnesses can be passed from person to person and spread between families.
To prevent this from happening, what you can do is you can always take the prescribed antibiotics as directed. Do not skip doses and take for as long as prescribed. If you don't follow those two options, what can happen is you can result in a reinfection. Do not save your antibiotics for the next time you get sick, and you should discard any leftover medication. Do not take someone else's prescribed medication as it may not be appropriate for your illness, and it can delay the treatment more and can cause harm. Do not take antibiotics for viral infections such as the common cold and the flu, and consult your healthcare provider to determine if antibiotics are necessary for what it is that you are going through.
And in conclusion, antibiotic resistance is a global health complication that we should all be aware of. Today, we provided information on what antibiotic resistance is, why it is a concern, and how to prevent a resistance from happening. So remember to take your medications as prescribed. You can never be too safe.